the 63 and 64 stuff, when we listed all those reciprocals, like you had like sine of x equals 1/3.
Yeah.
So to find cosecant, you flipped it. Notice the signs didn't change. So if cosecant is negative, then its reciprocal would also have to be negative. So just if you have cosecant, it's going to be the same as sine. If you have secant, it's going to be the same as cosine.
Yeah, I know that part.
It is, you're right. Oh, am I still not answering the question?
No.
You said you didn't know how to figure
So,
out.
like, I know how to find, like, the positives, but if to find the sign, the negative, you said that it's always positive, so how do you find where sign's negative?
No, it's not a quadrant. Like the quadrant that sign is in is always positive.
Yeah.
So the other ones that isn't all quadrant.
But you're trying to find the negative.
Right.
So anything where it's not a big one, it's negative. So like sine is negative in these two because it's not a big one. And then cosine is negative in these two because it's not a big one. And then tangent.
I should have watched it.
Okay. So, what do you? I saw. What do you think it is? 3. 3.
I'm with her. I don't understand
3.
it.
That's fine. Anybody else get one? Okay. Let's do it again. All right. So this first one, tangent is greater than 0, is positive. So we look, and we have all students take calculus. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So tangent is positive wherever there's a t. And I want to change the color. So wherever there's a t, because that's tangent, and then a is for all, so they're all positive there. Okay, then for cosecant, it's negative. Well, cosecant is a reciprocal of sine, or sine is a reciprocal of cosine, either way, or cosecant, sorry. So those two are both negative. So we don't look at the ones with an S. Okay, S here, that means it's positive. So I don't look, well, if it was supposed to be greater than, if it was greater than 0, then it would be this one. But it's not. It's less than 0. So this is only where sign is positive. And this one is where all of them are positive. So sign must be negative in the other two. Here and here, everywhere there's not an S.
I get it now. I've got it. That's what I have.
Okay, which part, did you see where I got the pinks, Mackenzie?
I'm understanding how you're placing it, I'm just not understanding the fact of how you're finding it.
Okay, do you understand how I found the pinks?
Halfway, yes.
Okay, let me go back. All right. So,
Like, I get it because we have the tangent which goes into t and then the positive with all, because we're all positive.
oh, okay, so you do understand the
Yeah,
pinks.
I understand that, but it's like where you're finding all the negatives.
Oh,
And
it's
like,
just,
how are you knowing that your reciprocal is going to be negative and so you have to cross that part out?
Because it's less than 0.
okay, so, yeah, because it's the less than 0 part, you get that, right? That's negative, okay. You just have to know that they're reciprocals of each other. That was some stuff we learned the very first day. So that you're going to have to memorize cosecant.
No, I know.
Oh, okay. So then it says where sign is negative. Well, the big S means that sign is positive. So if it's positive there, it can't be negative, right? So I know it's not that one. Does that make sense? Okay. And then all, the A is where they're all positive. Well, I'm looking for negative, so it can't be this one. Right? Okay. And then the other two, this is where tangent is positive. But it doesn't say sine, so that means sine must be negative, because it's either positive or it's negative.
So it's wherever that letter is, and that's where it is.
That's right.
So it's wherever that letter is, and that's where it is.
That's right. So that's why it's T and C. That make sense?
I'll work on it.
Okay. So the ones where they overlap is 3. I'm going to do another one like this one, make sure we got it. This one does not exist, so I'm just going to change it. We're going to do one that's like it when we get to D. Let me see what I have over here.
Make one.
Yes, no, I'm just looking to see which one. I don't want to use the same ones. So let's do where sign is positive. And there you go. Okay, don't call it out. Let everybody have a chance to think on it. Yeah, cosine reciprocal. Yep, thank you.
So very helpful.
You know, I have prep period, 7th period. For those of you that want to come in and get some help, it doesn't have to be after school. I always think of this class being after school, after 6. You can come in here.
So sec is that tangent?
Cosine.
Cosine.
Secant and cosine are reciprocals. Okay, so which one do y'all think?
2.
2, okay. Sine is positive, and which quadrants? 2 and 1. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Oh, okay. And then secant is the reciprocal of cosine. So we're looking where cosine is negative. And which quadrants are cosine negative?
2 and 3.
Cosine is negative in the second one, because it's not a C. And in the third one, it's not a C. So they overlap, sure enough, here in 2. Makes sense. Okay. Okay, the last one that we're going to talk about here is when it says undefined, or if it told you it was equal to 0. If it's undefined or equal to 0, then that means it has to land directly on one of the axes. Either the X or the Y is going to land directly on it. So it's not in a quadrant. Quadrants are only in between the 2 lines. So what we do is we use the unit circle, but it's just the part of a unit circle that you would know. You wouldn't have to have all those extra numbers on it. So like if it's a unit circle, then to get from the middle to the right, this point is 1, 0. Right? Because I have to go to the right one, and I don't go up or down at all. So then what's this point? 0, 1. And this point? -1, 0. And the last one? Excellent. So we're going to use one of those points to help us figure out which one it is. Okay, so we're going to start with either the part that says it's equal to 0 or is undefined. So since I don't have a thing that says equal to 0, it says undefined though. So if it's undefined, what does that mean? What does that look like as a fraction? Yeah, there's going to be one with 0 on the bottom of the fraction. So you're going to have some number over 0, because that's what undefined means. So for secant, if you look back, there it is. Secant is r over x, or 1 over x, because it's the reciprocal of cosine. Cosine was just x. So to find the secant on a unit circle, which is what I just drew, it's 1 over x. So that could be, to get a 0 on the bottom, that means my x-coordinate is going to have to be 0. So where is the x-coordinate 0 on which axis? Y. I can either have this 0 or this 0. Now to figure out which one it is, I'm going to have to use the other part. What was that?
Wouldn't it have to be the negative one since it's less than 0?
That's right. Because it says the sign is less than 0, you would have to use the one that's down here. You're good for the next homework, day 67.
I was curious.